When we talk about the greatest players to ever play this sport, just like in any other ranking, bias is inevitable. We all have that one player who made us fall in love with the game. But what happens if we strip away the emotion? I asked 5 leading AI models, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, and DeepSeek, to rank the top 10 Premier League players of all time, to get a truly objective list. Can an algorithm really understand greatness? And can statistics replace an eye test? Or will it make decisions that leave us speechless? Let's find out. To make this ranking as fair as possible, I used a point system across all 5 AI models. A 10th place finish earned 1 point, 9th place earned 2, scaling all the way up to 10 points for the top spot. By adding up these scores, we've created the ultimate AI list. Here are the results. Before we see the main list, we have to look at the players who almost made it. This will tell us a lot about how AI filters greatness. Let's start with the legends who didn't even make the cut. At 15th, we have Dennis Bergkamp. With just 1 point only, Grok was bold enough to put him in their top 10. It's shocking that a player with his technical elegance is so low. But AI often prioritizes volume and raw data over pure artistry. Then comes Paul Scholes at 14th. And yes, he is the lowest ranked of the big 3 English midfielders. While fans debate his influence for hours, the AI models seem to struggle with his lack of high individual scoring seasons compared to his rivals. He's followed by Sergio Aguero, the first player on our list to appear in multiple rankings. But a string of 9th and 2 10th place finishes kept him at 13th overall. Despite having the best minutes to goal ratio in history, the AI seems to penalise him for his injury record, or perhaps a lack of longevity compared to others. Finally, the midfield generals, Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane. Despite some high individual scores, they finished 12th and 11th. It's fascinating. These two defined an entire era of the Premier League. But in a point system based on top 10 lists, they just missed the elite bracket. If these giants didn't make the cut, you know the top 10 is going to be elite. Now that we're done with the mentions, let's open the top 10. At 10th place is Mohamed Salah. Despite holding the record for most goals and assists in a 3-8 game season, he only gathered 9 points across 2 lists. It makes you wonder, is this an objective ranking of greatness, or is AI falling for the trap of nostalgia? Salah's numbers are arguably better than many above him, but the algorithms aren't fully convinced yet. At 9th, we have our first player to break into double digits, Eric Cantona with 11 points. Cantona was heavily carried by one specific model, earning those 11 points from just 2 lists. For comparison, Aguero appeared on more lists, but couldn't even manage half of Cantona's score. The King clearly still has a grip on the algorithms, showing that even AI can value impact over raw statistics. At 8th place, we have a fascinating tie at 16 points between Kevin De Bruyne and Wayne Rooney, but their scores tell 2 completely different stories. De Bruyne was the definition of consistency, appearing on 3 lists and finishing almost in the same spot every time, at 5th, 6th, and 5th. But because 2 models left him out entirely, he couldn't climb higher. Rooney, on the other hand, was the ultimate wildcard. He appeared on 4 lists, but his rankings were all over the place, from a high of 4th place on Gemini all the way down to 10th on DeepSeek. It's the perfect AI paradox. Do you prefer De Bruyne's steady reliability or the high peak brilliance of Wayne Rooney? Since they're tied, I'll let you decide that one in the comments. Moving to 6th place is a man some say was a one-man team, Steven Gerrard. With 20 points, he is the first player to appear on all 5 lists, proving his status is undeniable across every algorithm, no matter the model. Gerrard was there, but he is just edged out by his rival and England teammate Frank Lampard at 5th place with 25 points. Here's a fascinating detail. Lampard actually finished above Gerrard on 4 out of the 5 lists. In fact, they were ranked right next to each other on almost every single one. It seems even the AI can't separate them, but Lampard's record-breaking goals from midfield gave him the final edge, especially with DeepSeek, which ranked him as high as third. At fourth place, we find Ryan Giggs. The AI clearly values silverware and longevity, rewarding the man with 13 Premier League titles and the most assists in the competition's history with 30 points. Giggs didn't reach the number 1 spot on any list, but his ability to stay in the top 5 of almost every model secured his high position. Before we enter the ultimate top 3, let's take a quick look at the journey so far. At 10th, it was Mo Salah. 9th, Eric Cantona. 8th, Wayne Rooney. And at 7th, Kevin De Bruyne. Then, our legendary midfield duo, Steven Gerrard at 6th, Frank Lampard at 5th, and Ryan Giggs holding 4th. In third place, with 39 points, is the league's all-time leading scorer with 260 goals, and the man who held the record for a 4-2 game season with 34 goals, Alan Shearer. He was the backbone of almost every list. Never dropping out of the top 5, Shearer is the AI's benchmark for a perfect striker, the gold standard of scoring. The last 2 players are Ronaldo and Henry. I'd love to tell you this was a close race with just a 1-point difference, but it's even better. They are tied at 44 points each. However, only one can be the winner, and the full AI data shows exactly why I made my choice. If we look at the individual rankings, Ronaldo was first once, second twice, and third twice. Henry, on the other hand, was first on 4 out of 5 lists. The only reason he isn't the landslide winner is DeepSeek. DeepSeek didn't even have Henry in the top 3. They put him all the way down in 7th place. It is one of the most statistically significant outliers in the entire project. We can look at this in 2 ways. 1, Ronaldo is the only player to appear in the top 3 on all 5 lists, making him more consistent. 2, Henry was the preferred choice for 80% of the models, and his lower point tally is only due to 1 massive outlier. Because of that dominance on 4 lists, I am giving first place to Thierry Henry. Tell me in the comments, am I wrong? Does DeepSeek hate Henry, or is DeepSeek seeing something that I didn't? Is there a statistic that justifies 7th place for a man who won 4 golden boots? Let me know what you think.